Hi family and friends, it's your girl Colette Alethea. Welcome back to another episode of the Roaring 30s YouTube and podcast channel. Thank you for joining me each and every single day for December. I plan to upload a video every single day until Christmas. I think it's the YouTube vlogs. So I think it's up to Christmas you upload a video or until the new year, but here's my challenge. I'm going to try something new and wish me luck. If you haven't already, please remember to hit the subscribe button, comment, and like. Share with your family and your friends. Let me know how you feel about this topic that we're going to dive into today. So today I'm going to be reading a Reddit submission, and I'm going to be doing a reaction toward it. And yeah, a reaction to it, and let's see what we get today. So it reads, I, female 32, just discovered my husband 44 male baby trapped me 11 years ago and has a pattern of reproductive coercion. I never knew there was such thing. We have labeled it reproductive coercion. When I say I just discovered this, I don't mean today, but 2 days ago, I found his blog page on some question and answering site he more or less uses as a personal confessional of diary of sorts. And what I discovered there terrified me. Oh God. He openly describes how he baby trapped me when we first met. He was an older man. He was estranged from his first wife at the time. I was clueless and desperate, a college dropout with a baby only 6 months old, living with my parents. He charmed my parents, he charmed my sister and her husband, held my son, and was so caring to us at the time. My whole family was poor, and he offered to help out. And he followed through on that. Bought me milk, diapers, medicines, and gave me expensive jewelry. Now, if this is not like a starter kit or who to prey on as a narcissist, this is it. Then I got pregnant. I was just 21, and my first pregnancy had been unplanned and a C-section, and I was terrified. But he talked me into keeping the baby. He said he'd always help me. He said he'd marry me, that he was the love of my life. He would divorce his wife soon, and he did. He divorced her, he married me, we moved to his country, and had 3 more kids. With his first wife, he had 3. He adopted my firstborn and 3 more. So that's 7 children in total. His family is rich and he has a good job through their connections, although he doesn't do a lot, to be honest, but is very good at pretending to be busy. So this guy had this thing planned out to the T. So he was estranged from his wife. That's what still has me. Let's continue. Now, in this blog, he writes that he selected his first wife because of her intelligence. He never finished university, and she went to a prestigious university, and he wanted smart children. He poked holes in her condoms, and she got pregnant. They had a shotgun marriage, 3 kids, and 2 postpartum depressions later. She leaves him. He has her diagnosed with some mental illness and ends up getting custody with help of his family. After this, he selected me because of my looks and being a lot younger. Rinse and repeat.
We've been waiting for you.
I just want to know if she knew this before and after, but honestly, I'm not even going to put too much pressure on her because it seems as though she was really young. She's in college, she has a 6-month baby. She was 21 having her second child with this man who's much older and should know better. Even though she is at the age of consent, he clearly took advantage of her and told her a story, and she wrapped her mind around it and thought, well, he is providing, he's giving me something, and she obviously justified the stories he was giving him because she knows a lot about his history. So estranged, or did he nearly drive her mad and she left, and he manipulated the system and said that she's sick, which postpartum is a mental illness. It does affect women, but he gets custody of the kids, and then what? She's right, rinse and repeat. It turns out I am just an object to him. I never felt fully at ease, but I always couldn't explain why. I never felt fully at ease. But I was constantly gaslit by my own family and friends. If I brought it up because of how generous he was and how he charmed them, I second guessed myself a lot. Narcissist. Gave him the benefit of the doubt. Eventually, I just sort of settled into the whole motherhood thing, decided to give it my all. He even wrote on his blog that he was happy I had a baby already because this time she would not think of me as the one who ruined her life because another dude already knocked her up first. She said settled. I didn't even think that she was talking about motherhood. I just thought she was just settling because of her situation, and everybody is like happy to be getting something from this man because he has money. The mother's happy, the father's happy, the sister's happy, the husband's happy, everybody's happy, everyone's being provided for or gifted something. So they're like, how can you, like, what do you mean you feel something is wrong? Yeah, follow your gut instinct. Like, don't be easily blinded by what people give you. But sometimes that's like the repercussions, unfortunately, of sometimes poverty, is that we can't really see the evil behind the gift. Like, it's really sad. She continues to write. It's all just so gross, but I can't stop scrolling and reading his thoughts too. There's so much of it. He's not the person I thought he was, or not the person he presented himself to be all these years. I'm a 100% sure his ex isn't crazy. I agree. I don't think she's crazy. I think she left because she was scared and he was going to drive her up the wall. Like he portrayed her to be, but another gaslit victim. I'm super confused and I don't know what to do. I also don't have a job and I'm a full-time mother, so this is a scary situation to be in. What do I do? I don't even know where to begin with all of this, or who to tell, or whether I should even tell him. Well, I think the first question we need to ask is, what country do you live in? And what are the resources provided for women in situations like this? And I will call this abusive. You didn't describe the home you live in, if he's verbally or abusive or anything like that, but he is mentally abusive and very much so narcissistic. And because you entered a relationship not knowing that he had a whole plan to just like get you pregnant for his own good, and not really entering a romantic relationship the way that you wanted to, then you have grounds to leave, because it was very dishonest and very manipulative by all means. And I can understand if you have 3 children you have 4 children and you're a stay-at-home mom, how are you able to provide for yourself outside of the home? And I know some people watching this video are going to be like, oh, that's why I always have my job. No, it's hard to have a lot of children and work. Maybe he said, listen, I provide everything that you need. You will be safe. You won't need to go out there. Just raise the children. And maybe that was something that they agreed on. But in this situation, she's stuck now because her savings, her money, the provision that she gets for her children and herself and her extended family weighs on the fact that if she leaves, all that potentially can be cut off. Not only that, he has a history of bringing his ex-wife to court to gain custody of his children. So she actually has a lot to lose. Potentially can be cut off. Not only that, he has a history of bringing his ex-wife to court to gain custody of his children. So she actually has a lot to lose. But as I said at the beginning of this, I would love to know what country she lives in, and maybe she needs to reach out to some and try to get some help to get her out of this situation. And she probably needs to go home. Maybe she can seek asylum. Maybe there's like a way for her to get home through the American. I'm just assuming she's American because it's .com. It could be anywhere, but if she's American, Canadian, or whatever, she can go to the embassy and return home with her children instead of being stuck with someone that you're very uncertain of what your future may look like. But there's still a lot of things missing, and honestly, if I came across something like this would like blow the wind out of me. I would just feel like, yo, I've been living in a dream and no one told me. Nobody told me. But she did have an inclination, but she was stuck and she didn't know what to do. I really hope she finds, man, this is a terrible situation. I really hope that she finds refuge and she's able to get out of this with her mind intact. I don't know if I would confront a man like this about what I found about him. Seriously, I don't think that is something I could do and be in the same home as him, because he seems a little bit not there. And you can't trust these people. Like narcissists, you can't trust them. They will manipulate you. They will smile in your face and like be killing you at the same time. And maybe this finding this out is just gives her more grounds or solidifies her feelings that something is desperately wrong with this person. Oh my gosh. But I will say that she didn't give enough information. She just kind of told us about her scenario, but she didn't really say exactly like what she read per se. She just kind of exposed the fact that he chose her and why he chose her. But that was it. I would like to know like more what he said, but doesn't even matter. Like her whole business is on the internet. And she's young. How old is she again? 32. I feel bad. And I feel bad because this started 11 years ago while she was still young. And she's trying to get her life together. I think the first step is to go home. I always say, go home. Go home. If you can go home, go home. If it's possible, go home. I don't know what country she's in. I don't know the services that they provide. All I know is if you're able to go home, go home. And then start from there. Whatever resources you need in your home country, hopefully they can provide that for you. And get yourself out of the situation and take some time off to think about what you want to do and how you want to handle the situation going forward, because this is messed up. This is messed up. Follow your gut. If something is saying, no, this ain't the person, it probably isn't the person. Don't fall for this. 11 years. Thankfully, she's only 32, so she'll be hopefully able to bounce back, raise her children, build the career if she needs, build the career because she'll have to provide for her family, and just move forward. I wish you all the best. Anyway, thank you for joining me for another episode here on the Roaring 30s YouTube channel and podcast. I hope you join me again tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Bye. Oh, before I leave, what do I always say? Love yourself and shame the devil. Have a wonderful night. Take care. Bye.